If you have a brain, you would most likely know that if you want to reach to a certain place, you're going to require certain things to be there. And I, as a teenager, come forth with three lessons or three advice which I've heard or received or learned in my life, which I believe every single teenager in today's generation must do for them to be where they want, for you to have the big success that you dream of. And these three principles or rules which have been instilled upon me by God are actually things which have helped me in almost every single scenario of my life. Not one scenario, not two scenarios. That's why I specifically say that the three things, the three rules. So I'm not going to sit here and blabber about how great these rules are, what these rules do. I'll get straight to the three principles, right? Number one, no matter what happens, life has to go on. And that's actually a very deep principle of masculine essence. You see, if you're a man, no matter how many hardships come your way, no matter how hard your life might be, no matter how many problems life throws at you in the face, it is absolutely and solely your duty to keep life moving. Imagine the men on the Titanic as the iceberg emerged towards them, as they faced death in front of their eyes. If they sat down and if they crumble to fear and to all those negative emotions, if they crumble to fear, if they crumble to anxiety and goddamn it, insecurities, think what would have happened. Do you think the women and children would have survived and the people who survived could have survived? Absolutely not. We as men, we are supposed to do the things even though it might be hard. We as men, we are supposed to go out into war knowing that we are going to die. So if you go out into the world weeping and crying about your problems like a little baby, guess what's going to happen? The world is going to treat you like a baby with absolutely zero respect. And when you see the world treating babies, they treat it with joy and happiness and kindness and compassion because that's a baby. And you as a teenager, you're not a baby, brother. You are growing up. You are becoming something. And make sure that something is best and out of the quality of making your life go forward no matter what happens in your life. I don't care if you crash your cycle. I don't care if a very horrible incident happened to you. I don't care if you got rejected or something. I don't care about none of that, right? And the world doesn't. So you can understand this truth by being smart and go forward understanding this, because no matter what happened in my life, from understanding this truth, from that point, I never sat down, wept and cried. Never. I never sat down broken. Never. So the second rule or second thing which I'm going to mention about is actually connected to the first thing. Almost these three things are connected with each other if you watch till the end. And I believe the third one is one of the most important, and that actually helps a lot of people in their lives. So the second thing is raw action solves all problems. Raw action solves all problems. So there's this quote from Bruce Lee where he says that if you keep thinking too much, you will not act. And that, I'm not sure if those are the exact words, but that's the concept of this quote. So if you constantly keep thinking about something, trying to do it, thinking it in your mind, creating it here, but no action in the real world, nothing is going to happen in the real world. And what you do in the real world is what matters. You know this, brother. You actually know this thing. If you don't act on the real world, nothing is going to change in the real world. See, I have a friend of mine who's absolutely terrified of real world scenarios, and he is working on himself to correct those things. And I believe he's going to do a great job at that, having me as a friend. And absolutely, if you don't even know how to fix the problem, just keep acting. Just do something. Take action. Even if it's not completely related to the problem. Let's just assume that you are growing up and you face a heavy financial crisis. Like you're literally broke. What can you do? Sit there and cry? Weep about something? Yeah? Is that what you're going to do? And do you think that's going to fix your problem? And do you think that's going to make people respect you? Absolutely not. So, what could you do at that? What would I have done? So first of all, I have no money to do so. I can't buy things, right? I'm living on an edge. I'm broke. What can I do now? I could do probably 100 push-ups. Maybe 2 kilometers of running. Maybe. See, we the members of the War House, we don't like the idea of staying still. That is not one of our philosophies. We like as young men, we have this immense source of energy. Like we literally feel like Wolverine and Deadpool. So we can keep acting, doing certain things, and physical activity is one of the most greatest activities a young person can do. So if you don't know what to do, just do something. Because something is better than nothing. Take action on everything in your life. It may be your voice, your looks, your studies, your career, your financial growth, your social life, no matter whatever it may be, take action on improving and just see how much it improves your whole life. And the third rule is not all rules are meant to be followed. In other words, don't follow stupid rules. Or in other words, not all rules are meant to be followed in every scenario. See, this is actually a basic concept which has not been instilled to the smart minds of today. Because I see a lot of the smart minds that I personally know construct this. Let's just go with what you can easily understand. Construct the circle around their life and live the life in that circle, like trying to make that circle bigger and bigger. Like if you've seen the movie Doctor Strange, there's a scene that goes like the lady teacher, she's like telling to Doctor Strange that you're a man trying to look at the world through a keyhole, and your whole life you spent on expanding that keyhole. This sentence kind of translates to what she says. They're constantly trying to expand that circle over and over and again, and they live in this robotic cycle of life over and over. I was stuck in that trap, right? Following principles, doing this, doing that. But sometimes it's actually a greater option to break those principles and do the opposite. Sometimes it is actually great to break all those options, to break all those rules and do the exact opposite. And this is actually one of the concepts from Mahabharata. My mom used to tell me that when Draupadi was insulted in that court, in the court of Duryodhana, everyone there could have stood up for Draupadi and stopped like literally a whole civilization from destroying. If that insult to Draupadi didn't happen, the war wouldn't have happened, and all the destruction that they faced wouldn't have happened. So those people, they sat there, they're like, oh, this is my dharma. I'm going to sit there with my rules. That doesn't bother me. No. You are put into this world because you matter to this world, and your actions will shape how this world acts. You matter, alright? So why don't you break your rules for the betterment of the whole society? If someone in that court broke their rule, like, oh, I'm gonna stay there and not disobey the king, guess what would have happened? A whole civilization would have been saved. Thousands, millions of lives would have been saved. Right? Not all problems have the same equations. They don't have the same formulas. Right? What we need is the answer, and sometimes it is okay to change the formulas to get the answer that we want. Because the answer is what matters the most. So, don't be a blind guy following life, living life in a circle. I personally used to do that a few years ago, right? And that is not how you actually enjoy life. They try to enjoy life in that circle. That's not true enjoyment. So there was a time of my life where I was like, alright, I have no circles. None. I'm not going to look at life through a keyhole. And people say, oh, just open the door then. That's what one of the people I was speaking to about this concept told me, that, oh, if you're not going to look at life through a keyhole, are you saying that you're going to open the door? And I literally told him that I say that there is no door. There is no door. Just you. You pass the horizons of today's world. I think this is out of what we are currently discussing about the three rules. And these are the three rules that I just wanted to mention in this video, but this is just extra additional stuff, okay? So if you want to keep watching, continue. If you are just okay with understanding the three rules, here you can click off the video and make your life better as you should. And the additional that I wanted to add is that the education system of today actually lacks something which could help you to see past the horizons. This might not be logical to some people, but those who understand things that I understand will clearly know what I'm talking about. Back in those days, in the Gurukula system, which was prevalent in India, people used to teach, like the gurus used to teach the students, the teacher used to teach the students, not in a 4 by 4 classroom, not within four walls. They were just sat there in some under some tree, and the teacher used to give the teachings, the preachings, and the people, the students used to go out into the world, experiment that teaching, learn with actual process of learning, and not just doing randomly memorizing concepts that they don't even understand. Like those days, they could like if you're just talking about sight. Think about this. When you go to a mountain place or when you go to the sea, nearby sea areas, you're able to see past the horizons. When you're above a mountain, you're able to see like 5, 10 villages in one side. And when you're nearby the seashore, you're able to see the whole sea. There's no horizon there. There's no like limit. How is your mind during that situation? If you've been to a hill station or nearby the seashore, how does your mind feel? Very pleasant, right? Very focused. And the thoughts of things that actually matter in life come to you, right? Why do you think this happens? It's simply because you're seeing past horizons. And in today's world, most people don't even leave their rooms. And in today's classrooms, we are just having a 4 by 4 wall, which does not allow us to see past horizons by real sight. And apart from real sights, the education system does not offer you the proper education it requires for you to see past horizons and understand the world in a very specific way that could benefit you. So if you implement these 3 rules which I mentioned in your life, I guarantee you that within the end of 3-4 months pass by, you'll notice a big change in your character and a big change in your life. So try implementing this. It's not going to cost you money, right? So just go out there and try implementing the 3 rules. Number 1, life has to go on no matter what happens. Number 2, raw action solves every single problem. Number 3, sometimes rules are meant to be broken. Follow these 3 rules for the rest of your life, and trust me, you'll be thanking me in the future. Make sure that you subscribe to this channel, because in the upcoming videos I'll be discussing similar topics which could help you to become the best version of yourself. Take action and become the best version of yourself.